Hi there. This is Jo Zulaika, founder of the Facebook group Women Who Lead with Heart, working on my tech as we're just leaning in here to my Sunday Night Live. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Send me an emoji or a hi or a wave if you're joining live, or a hashtag replay if you're checking me out on the replay. So if you were intrigued by the title of tonight's talk, it's Coaching and Bungee Jumping. What do they have to do with each other? We're going to have some fun tonight. I always have fun, but I want you to have some fun with me. So what I'm talking about tonight is coaching and my program called You're Next, which you probably have heard about. It's all about getting you started on what your next big thing is, what your next chapter in life is, what your new big adventure or enterprise or job or career move or retirement move might be. It's a beautiful coaching program that has a lot of learning and a lot of support, and I'll talk about that later. But here's the gig. So many of you that I'm talking to are really intrigued about it, really are curious about coaching, really seem to be leaning into what could be here for you, but are also holding themselves back. So my sense is most of the women in this group have a sense for what your next is, for what you're all about, for what you want to create, for what you are meant to be and do and have, what you want to express. You have a pretty good sense of it. You might not have a perfect image, you might not know the path or the steps, but you kind of know. But you also have a sense for the hesitation that's behind you actually going for it. And I'd love it if you wanted to share in the comments below which one of these resonate for you. What's holding you back from stepping forward into what is your next thing? Is it a feeling that maybe what you long for is out of your realm, out of your reach, that you're not really worthy of it? Does it feel like it's too big for you? Is the reason why you're not going for that next big thing because you kind of lack self-esteem, even though no one in your world would think that of you? You seem like a self-assured, confident leader. You're a woman in her own shoes, but maybe deep down you sort of lack some self-esteem and some confidence in yourself. You have doubt. Or is it that you just don't feel ready? I get this one a lot. A lot of people feel like they're getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And then when all of those things seem to somehow magically fall into place, they'll be ready. But they don't really know why they're not ready now, and they don't really know what it would take to become ready. So I'm going to call this out a little bit. This is a stall tactic on yourself. This is a way of you staying small and safe and not really putting the Lego blocks together in your life to architect what is your next thing. It's a way of procrastinating. It's a way of holding off on your dream. And I get it. I so totally get it. The stronger your desire is, sometimes there is an equal and opposite aversion for going after that desire, which doesn't really make any logical sense. But it happens because the more we feel a sense of purpose and like heart-quickening delight and thrill about what we think might really be out there for us, our life's purpose, our big thing, the scarier it is to go after it, because what if you fail? It matters. If the stakes are high, if it really matters to you, then you might be afraid to get started, feeling like if you flub it up, all is lost. And this sort of all or nothing thinking, or putting something really high up on a mantle that you can't reach, is another form of defaulting on your dream and stalling on yourself. So you want to be really aware of what you're telling yourself and if it's really true. Are you really too busy? Is it really not the right time? What's the fear? Because even staying safe even staying small, even staying where you are and not risking the status quo to go for your big next thing has risk in and of itself. Because you know deep down you're not really going for it, and that creates such heart pain. To know that there's a dream written on your heart and you're not going after it is torture. It's self-inflicted torture. You want more for yourself, but you're not really sure how to go and get it. And so you stay safe and small rather than risk it all to go for it because it feels like the safer thing to do. But I'm telling you, there's risk there too. There's risk there on you not following through on your heart's desire. So I want to give you a break though, because I said this to a client of mine this last week and we both laughed, and I want to see if I can recreate the mood. That we put so much pressure on ourselves to figure it all out, right? That's what the title of this event was. You don't have to have it all figured out to get started. But we think that we do, right? We think that we need to get ready and to get prepared and to get more certified and get our act together and get everything sifted and sorted and get our laundry folded and put away, and then life will happen. But what I said to my client that I want to share with you on this live is when you try to do that for yourself, it just leads to so much confusion, right? When you set up in your mind that you've got to somehow figure yourself out so that you can then go be yourself, it is like trying to be the horse that you are also riding. Here's my ridiculous aphorism for tonight. I'm full of them. I'm full of ridiculousness. But what I meant was, it's like you kind of can't like be in your own head, managing your own mind, and also being able to see in your blind spots. That's what they are, right? They're your blind spots. And that's why coaching matters. That's why I have a coach, right? I'm a coach for you, but I have to have a coach. My own coach is constantly seeing me, seeing the whole me, even the parts that I can't see or that I dismiss or that I default on myself. My own coach holds my bar for me and helps me get to where I know I want to be and where I've committed to go. She holds me accountable. It's a way of basically having somebody put the saddle on so that you can go and ride. Because having to try to figure it all out yourself is sort of in the realm of saints and poets. It's not really for us mere mortals to try to figure out our own psyche and press forward with support and accountability, all in our own head. So give yourself a break and realize that that's why you're joining my group, is you want this support, you want this inspiration, you want training, you want some accountability, you want a swim lane to go in. You get even more of that when you join my program, where I teach you everything that you need to know to become confident, self-assured, clear, aware of where you're headed. And this is the part where I want to share with you my funny bungee jumping story. You were wondering when I was going to get to it. So, many years ago, I was prepared to bungee jump in New Zealand. And if any of you have attempted something like bungee jumping or skydiving, it is thrilling on a wholly different level, a visceral, adrenal level. And here's my analogy for you. When I finally got up on the platform and had the bungee tied around my ankles and scooched out towards the diving board that was right out over this beautiful river in Queenstown, New Zealand, no less, I was filled with fear. Of course, right? We're like wired to not love falling or jumping off of high places. But there's also something sort of elementary there about risk, right? Like, I said I was going to do this thing. I paid to do this thing. And here I am now faced with the challenge of doing this thing. And I'm afraid to actually go for it. I didn't know if I was afraid that I would fail or if the bungee might fail, but there was just present fear. You follow? But what they did that was so brilliant is they have a coach that stands there on the bridge with you. And this coach has this beautiful, nuanced style, this intuition about when he should put his arm around you and help you see the horizon straight ahead. Don't look down. Keep looking and tracking and focusing on the beautiful mountain landscape, the blue sky, and track your vision to where you're going to jump. He's coaching you. He's helping you do what you're going to need to do with his arm around you, right? And then if you hesitate, or if he feels you lean back and default on the dream that you established for yourself, right? If he feels like you might crumble, you might want to surrender, you might ask to take the bungee off and go run off the bridge, he moves his arm, his hand from around your shoulder in support and uplifting and keeping you focused to putting his hand on your back, kind of the small of your back. Never pushing. That's against the rules. But gently letting you know that he's holding you accountable to what you said you were going to do, and sort of propping you back up if you were starting to lean back on your hind heels there. And that is such a beautiful, intuitive way of being with somebody who's about to take a risk or to really go for it, that I've never forgotten. How I thought this guy must have had a master's in psychology to know when his arm should be around my shoulder and when his hand should be on my back. And I did it. And it was exhilarating and thrilling and empowering and invigorating, and a metaphor for how I and we can challenge ourselves to double dare, to do hard things, to stride out, to take a step, to take a leap, to jump, to become. All of these things are possible. And that's why I love coaching, is I make that possibility real for my clients. So if you've joined me for a while, you get my vibe, you've enjoyed being part of this group and whatever it is that you get out of it. But I want to challenge you to put the bungee around your ankles and come right out on the ledge with me and actually be coached by me. This isn't really coaching. This is me talking into Facebook, right? So I'm offering, the big offer is this. I'm going to put a booking link in the comments below for how you can book a call with me, which is the only way you can sign up for one of my coaching programs. I need to talk to you. I need to make sure it's a good fit. I'm not going to sign anybody up if it's not the right thing. And if you do this before Monday morning, wherever in the world you are, if you sign up for a call with me before Monday morning, I am going to give you 20% off my coaching program. I have two, and I'll explain what they are briefly and what they do for you. The first one, called Your Next, is shorter, and it's a month and a half in duration. And it is all about you figuring out what's limiting you from taking that step. What is your heart's desire? What are you meant to be, do, and have? What's holding you back? What are those limiting beliefs? What's one small thing that you can do that I can hold you accountable for as you start to inch towards your dream? There are a series of modules that you participate in a self-paced learning format. Intimate circle calls, that's why I want to talk to you first to make sure the group is set up to really vibe with each other. Women only. And we meet once a week to discuss the lesson. But on top of that, I provide 3 deep dive one-on-one sessions, just me and you, to make sure that I understand the goal that you're headed to, that I have my arm around your shoulder and we're pointing towards the mountains and looking out at the not so scary landscape that you're thrilled and excited to start growing into. So I can tell you a little bit more when we're on the phone. That's the beginner version. That's the starter version. That helps you get jump started. The extended version is the leadership version, where you then, from that place of self-awareness, that place of being self-managed and clear about who you are and what you're great at and what you're here to be and do, you then learn how to become an exceptional manager for others. How you resolve conflict, how you give direct feedback, how you hire and fire, how you lift people up from drama, how you get out of drama, how you speak publicly. All of these lessons to be an empowered, impactful leader or what is in the extended session. If you want to go for it and you really want to become the badass leader you know you can be. That's the Confident Leader program. And it's twice as long, and I can discuss like what the terms are for that particular program. Both of them have the one-on-one coaching, and the extended leadership program has some extra bonuses too. So that's just a little bit of like a high level teaser sampler for what those two programs are about, why you want to book a free call with me so that you can learn more about them. And if you do it before midnight tonight, wherever you are in the world, you get the 20% off whichever program you choose. So what do you think? Sounds pretty good? It would be lovely to actually meet you and work with you one-on-one. So don't hesitate. Don't default on your dreams. Don't feel like you have to get ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. For gosh sakes, take a step, trust, and realize there is so much here for you and you can do it. That's what I've got for you tonight. Go well, and we'll talk soon.